Hello friends. The two imprecations most commonly proffered to golfers who are new to the game, or perhaps those who are struggling with the game, are keep your eye on the ball and keep your head still. We've all heard them. They actually have different values, because keeping your head still ends up being the more helpful of the two. I mention that because keep your eye on the ball is such a common expression even in other sports. But here's why it gets a little tricky with golf. We're right-eye dominant, most people, and even left-handers are right-eye dominant, or a good number of them. That means that one eye is the one that is favored by your brain, and your brain, of course, is in charge of all these things. And, of course, the anxiety of hitting a golf ball does mean that we want to sort of pin it to the ground with our stare. So if we're right-eye dominant, but particularly with the longer clubs, where a bigger turn is important and the ball is actually positioned farther to the left in the stance, particularly the driver, then it becomes difficult to get a proper turn and keep your right eye on the ball. Now, a very famous golfer, in fact one of the now 6 golfers to have ever won the Grand Slam, 4 majors in their lifetime, is Jack Nicklaus. He's still around. He was born in 1940. And he, in his very famous golf book, Golf My Way, from I think 1974, mentioned that he couldn't see the ball at the end of his backswing with his right eye. His nose was in the way, maybe his shoulder. I sort of wished he'd made more of it, because I think most people would have benefited had he done so. In essence, he's saying that even if you don't see the ball with your right eye, the importance of getting a full turn and as high a hand position as you can get, mine barely get above my shoulders nowadays, but he thought that importance of turn trumped any interest in seeing the ball. And of course you are seeing something with your left eye. And so what I recommend you do is that you actually take a swing back and stop, and make sure you've got a full turn. And then look toward the ball and close each eye and ask yourself really which eyes, if either of them are, seeing the ball. It may not be your right eye. And then tolerate that in your golf swing. It takes a little while because it's rather unnerving to not see the ball with your better eye, but I think you'll find it beneficial. Now, the other recommendation, to keep your head still, certainly has its place. If it's moving around, it's a function of your legs. Your legs are in charge of where your head is. And so the best way to train that is to position the sun somewhat behind your left shoulder, so that you can see your shadow, even if you've made that lovely full turn that Jack Nicklaus found so beneficial. And when you've made that turn, you can actually keep your eye on your head, the shadow of your head, and make sure that you can swing without it moving. In other words, both remarks have their place.